Okay guys, so here I am taking the same trails that I normally take on my mountain bikes on my gravel bike. Not that this is my preferred bike for this trail, but I just want to try it, see how these tires can handle it. Now, in all fairness, I do have a CushCore in the front, but not the rear, and I'm going to be putting another insert, the Tannus Armor one, in the rear, but I haven't bought that yet. Or I might put a CushCore Gravel in the rear. We'll see. I think I have a CushCore Gravel at home, so I'll probably put that one in. But if I don't have one, it's already on my other gravel tires, then I'll just buy another one. Once you have the CushCore in your tires, you don't really want to take them out until you have to. So a little more difficult to mount, but not life-changing. It's capable, or it's doable, and I usually get them in there. It helps when you're using wide rims like I do. All my gravel rims are wider. I don't mess around with any rims below 26.6 is my most narrow rim. I tried using the Stan's Crest rim for one of my first gravel builds, and for that wheel set. And as you know, the Stan's Crest is their XC Racing rim, and it's kind of narrow, and it worked. It wasn't, I didn't feel like it was wide enough, number one, and it eventually, I think because it was just tension too much, one of the nipples pulled through the spoke hole, so those rims got toasted. And I want you guys to think about it like this. I'm not sure if you think of this when you're buying bike parts, but your rims are very vulnerable. So when you're buying high-end rims, such as carbon rims, you need to consider that. How are you going to protect those rims? That's why I really think it's important to use an insert. If you're not going to be using an insert, make sure you have it matched to a tire that's going to really set on there well, and you're checking the air pressure, and you're making sure that it's got thick enough sidewalls. It's not going to roll over, it's not going to flatten out and damage a rim. So consider just any type of tire insert as a minimal amount of protection. And now you have a lot of choices. I used to use Rim Pack, and I still think they're pretty good. Just a little too much on the spongy side for me, as far as I didn't feel like they would offer as much protection as the CushCore. They do have a Pro model that has a thicker layer next to the spongy layer, but I think because of the porous design, it seemed like it was almost completely sucking up all my sealant right after I mounted them. So I don't like to know that my sealant's just gonna dissipate and add to the weight of my tire instead of dissipate or stay free flowing a little bit to work as flat protection. And I don't fill up my my tires with sealant before each ride or before riding my bike, even if it's been sitting in my garage for a month, which happens a lot now that I'm working more and because I have so many bikes. But I do the latter, and I bring sealant with me, so if I get a flat, I could push some sealant in there, shake it around, and hopefully make it seal up. If it's a small enough hole, it will be sealed with the sealant, or maybe the sealant and the bacon strips. I also carry bacon strips too, and I've always wanted to try those Stan's Dart. I think those are really a better solution for holes. I just haven't got around to buying those yet, but I'll probably get those next. I think that's because they're a little more pliable, if you will, but I think they're a better plug design. And then Lezyne just came out with a new plug design that you put after you get home and you want to seal up the tire from the inside, instead of just patching it with your regular patch kit on the inside of the tire. And I put a video about that a while back where I told you guys, don't try patching it inside there without following the instructions. And if you had the patches like I have, it means you're not hot patching it. I used to think you hot patch everything, and now I realize that the instructions say let it dry till almost dry and just tacky, then adhere your patch. And that's what I've been doing and working much better on those tire patches that seem never to hold, and now they're holding. And then when I'm setting them, I use some clamps and clamp it down with like some C-clamps. Anyway, enough of that. I'm gonna mosey on up this trail, get this workout in. I'm using my power meter, so I'm gonna test what my power is on this climb. Another thing I've never done, so I'm anxious to see how that turns out. And that's what I do, you guys. I like to test my limits. I'm testing my limits on these tires on the way up and down this trail. Now I won't be riding down El Prieto like I did yesterday, but I will be riding back down what you see here with all these ruts and rocks and terrain to navigate around or try to bounce over, and see how these Schwalbe Ultra Bite in the front and Schwalbe Bite tire in the back does on my Zip, what are they called, the Zip 101 Explorer rims that are on here, and see how that works. So thanks for watching, guys. And put a comment below if you ever feel like you take your gravel bike onto stuff that's maybe a little bit above its head so far as technical and rough trails. Talk to you later.